Hey everybody, this is Grace, and I thought I'm getting out I'm going to start doing this every evening I can, just to get out of the house, drive around and get some fresh air. The air in my house is just so thick, as I keep telling Adam. And I try to open the door, he gets cold. It's only, well, it's 57 now, but inside the house is 68. And he's cold. He's always saying he's cold. You know, bundle up, dude. We've known one another over 40 years, and he's always been cold. You know, and then it's too cold for him. Summer's too hot for him. And it's like, dude, seriously. But, you know, people are different. And, you know, what happened to me recently is I need the doctors, all these doctors are sending me to, I need them to start connecting the dots. You know, I shouldn't be the one to have to figure out everything. Like, had these, you know, I've mentioned this more than once. I'm just going to do a little recap. The excruciating pain, well, it was an aches. It was an aches, really awful. I mean, I had pancreatitis and was hospitalized for it. And that wasn't as bad as this that I was having. I'd say at least a week. I don't know how long it was. And one time I tested, I actually decided to check to see how long it would last. It was an hour and a half. Just imagine, you know. I know, you know, they actually say that pancreatitis is worse than giving birth, being in hard labor. And let me tell you, pancreatitis was pretty bad. This felt worse than that. Okay? And for like an hour and a half or however much at a time, it was awful. Each time I was like, I'm dying. And I mentioned that I figured it out. It was hypothermia. I tested that the one time, the final, you know, became the final time because I tested it, and my body temperature was 94.4. And I had been complaining that my body temperature was going too low, and the doctor that I told this to, she told me to buy new thermometers. I don't think she was being sarcastic. She might have been. But it was still going too low. Okay. Anyway, I need him to start connecting these dots. You know, then there was the anemia, and the new doctor, he said, well, you know, you're anemic. I said, nobody's ever told me that. And he told me, yeah, and he looked in the charts, you know, they have all the records, the medical records for going back years, you know. He says, you've been anemic for quite a long while. Well, if I had known that, you know, so, yeah. Connect these dots for me. I mean, I have to connect to myself. I don't, that's not my job. But I have to figure these things out. Like 10 years ago when I first started my first YouTube channel, this is not it. It was in August. That December, I figured out what was wrong with me for 2.5 years. 2.5 years. What was going on, and I was having this something growing. That's the only way I could describe it. I quit counting after 21 healthcare providers that couldn't figure it out. I figured it out. It was a medication I was on I was allergic to. None of them even suggested that, but it was something growing on any, you know, starting in my hands. My hands turned, the palms turned gray. Then it started on the fingers, anywhere where there was no hair follicles. I had to figure all this stuff out, and it just kept growing, you know, down, you know, on my arms, and it went all the way down. It was, you know, over 2.5 years, all the way down to my knees. Okay, that's when I figured it out. Good thing I was trained in research, you know. And then basically I used my training in research to figure it out. And I know 2.5 years, well, when you keep seeing healthcare providers and they're saying take more and take more and take more of that medication, seriously, that's what they kept telling me. You know, they were thinking it was the cause was Not because of the medication, but because I wasn't taking enough of it. Well, the opposite was true. They lowered it, I lowered it, I lowered it. They gave me a smaller pill and told me to take all of it instead of what I was doing. And I didn't. And that's how I figured it out. It started going away. So, oh my goodness. So, the stuff that I have been through, really, you know, with the gross stuff happening, the blood pouring out of my navel, I still don't know. Still don't have a diagnosed. Boom. No. You know, they've said everything from maybe I washed it to, that was the most stupid one, that I washed it too hard. No, I did not. To that my umbilical cord never closed as a child, which another one said there is apparently that there is a rare health condition that happens, and that I may have that would be 2 rare health conditions. And let's see, what else? They said it just got abscessed. And I said, why did it get abscessed? It was blood and some other stinky stuff. And it happened, I don't know how many times, but let's see, 2023 I was in the ER 3 times, and then 2024 for it, and then 2024 at least twice. And I don't know, it would happen every blue moon in between. Still don't have, like I said, diagnosed. Because the thing I have noticed, and Adam is now noticing with his new, you know, he's older and he's retired now, and he has all these appointments. He's noticing the same thing. Same things I've been complaining about for many years. Because he's not just seeing that one doctor he's been seeing for 15 to 20 years. And now he's mad at that one doctor. He says, why didn't he tell me this stuff? You know? Anyway. But, yeah, you know, the thing is, they don't want to diagnose. They don't want to put their John Hancock stamp, you know, MD on it, or at any level. You know? Well, isn't this your job? They just want to renew prescriptions. I have been saying that since at least 25 years. Around 25 years I've been saying that. At least. That's when I've started noticing. That's when I started having more problems. Then I had to see more healthcare providers. But you know, I'm not saying this is all of them. I'm not saying this is everyone. But when I quit counting after seeing 21, and not one of them thought it could be I was allergic to something. You're allergic to a medication I'm on? Come on. There's a problem there. Seriously. You know, so 10 years later, here I am figuring something else out. I don't know how many healthcare providers I saw this time. Seriously, for this of why I was having these excruciating. I mean, I cannot say it enough. They were so horrible. I would just sit there and want to crawl into a ball. It hurt so much, you know. The aches, just so bad. And it could have been that I was very close to having some other kind of serious problems. Y'all figured stuff out. Y'all listen, take the time, diagnose it, use your brains. They have to have some kind of analytical skills. I know mine are high. Mine are very high, my analytical skills. And I know, and I'm well aware of that. And I'm well aware of that. Not many of them know about these, you know, my main rare health condition. I'm well aware of that. But where is somebody who does? You know, seriously, where is somebody who does? So, okay, something going on over here. Okay, you see how this car is parked down there on the wrong side of the road? One time I was driving through here to leave, you know, to go somewhere, and I turned right over there, and the person that was sitting on the wrong side of the road, you know, I'm driving on the right side of the road, and they flashed their lights at me. My high beams were not on, but they flashed, you know, they kept flashing at me, and I'm thinking, you know, you're on the wrong side of the road. Of course, it's going to look brighter in your, you know, in your eyes because you're on the wrong side of the road. I mean, do people think? Some people don't think. I'm not saying people, it's in everyone. But yeah, now that person has their brights on. Okay, I see them way over here. You're driving with your brights on. And people these days, you can say, do that like that I just did, flip the lights. We used to do that. It was a thing. Everybody knew it. Somebody flips their lights and, on you and you're coming toward them, you say, oops, got my high beams on, and turn them off. Not these days. I noticed that when we were doing all that, driving around and such. Doing those, what I was doing for health insurance. I actually hope to get back to that, because then I'm healthy. But the thing about it is, because of my rare health condition, I can gain a whole lot of weight all of a sudden. Not my fault. It's not eating that causes it. Okay, and lack of exercise. Nope, those don't cause it. And I just did again. And walking is a pain, literally. Now I'll use pain. I told you said in a video before, I got chastised because of the difference between pain and ache, decades ago. And that was one I don't forget. Nowadays, I don't allow people to chastise me. Don't you dare. I've ticked off, because that's another thing I've noticed, and Adam's noticing too. I had noticed this decades ago, that going into a doctor's office is going to meet with somebody being very judgmental. Somebody there. It can be the front desk clerk. Somebody there is going to be very judgmental and just be rude. It never fails. There's always at least that one. I used to say that back in, decades ago. And now it's usually more than just one. But they're going to, they're going to search for something. If it's the MA, which is, they can go to school as little as like 4 weeks, or a couple of years. Medical assistant, to the, to the PA, to the nurse practitioner, to the doctor, any of these are specialists. Somebody, the office manager, somebody, it's like somebody's going to try to chastise you. Somebody's going to try to say, you're doing that wrong. I'm serious. Oh, I don't know if anybody else experiences this. I do. And I look at them like, you're a bozo. Because the thing about it was, they didn't even ask. Each and every time, they don't ask, do you do this? They just assume that I'm not doing this, or I am doing this. And then when I say, well, yes, they look down there and it's like, right. And like I said, now Adam is noticing it. And like I said, because he's not going to just the one doctor he's been to 15, 20 years, as he puts it. And he's noticing, he's like, wow. I said, welcome to my world, dude. Welcome to my world. But, some people do complain about whenever you become senior citizen, you get to a certain age, you're a woman of a certain age, a man of a certain age, the doctors start getting, the healthcare providers, not always doctors, they start treating the patient wrong because of that, and some of it, I have to watch myself so I don't laugh at them. Seriously, laugh at in their faces, because it's like, I don't know how to put it. Like they have this. Oh, what is it? Which one is it? It's sadistic kind of side to them. Yeah. And now that's not the one I was thinking of laughing at, but it's so. But what I felt like laughing at is just so scripted. It's the Mean Girl. It's kind of histrionic. And then there's the megalomania. I always get that word backwards or mess it up. But yeah, the narcissism, they're thinking about themselves and glorifying themselves. And when you really shouldn't be, because why is the patient having to figure it out? You get it? Oh, and like this last one, she was the office manager, and she said, oh, so they figured out what was wrong with you. And I had just told her that I figured it out, what was going wrong with me. And she said, oh, so they figured it out and they gave you better treatment. I said, no, I figured it out. Oh, she was not. Oh, I don't know why they chose her, but I have seen some stuff. You know, they want to go into denial in some sense. The patients are always have to be stupid, and we have to treat them as though they're stupid. Now, I worked in medical when I was a career student for over 20 years at, university. I was a career student. I wanted to really know what I know. I worked in doctor's office, mainly surgeons, ortho, spinal, neuro. I was feeling like office manager, surgery scheduler. I did medical billing for a while. And that was over the time that I was a career student. And I saw so much. I saw the front desk clerks, who were telling people, were calling in because they had surgery and they were in pain and they needed their medication sent to the doctor's office. She said, one of them, she would try to tell them that they don't need their medication. And I'm like, that is not your position. I'd have to chastise her. And her mother was around my age. And she just laughed. She wasn't even an MA, medical assistant. Back then, they didn't do that. Now it seems like everybody works in an office. You have to be at least an MA. And I found that interesting, good. But when they elevate themselves up to that of the doctor, no. So, anyway, so much of that going on. I was going to make a video about something totally different. But once I get on the road, stream of consciousness in a way. So, anyway. But now I'm much better. I also mentioned that what I was going to make the video about was about the stress that Adam and I have been under. He's finally starting to, chill from it. It all came to a close on Sunday. The trouble went back to her country. 31-year-old, his 31-year-old niece. She left the building, left the country. Never is going to return. She was too bad. It looked like, sweet little, sweet little, woman. She looked kind of like a model, but not in the face so much. But the rest of her, tall and the small and all that. And she dressed like someone who's, like you read under histrionic personality disorder. Read that with how they dress, that way. And she laughed that way, and she talked that way. Well, not so much talk. She liked to mumble. Yeah, she'd mumble. She'd say things, and then she'd mumble under her breath. Mean things. She'd say nice things, mumble under her breath, mean things. Yeah, well, she left finally. Yay! She wasn't with us the whole 2.5 years that she was here. She wasn't in our home, and she actually got kicked. He kicked her out one time because she was so bad. She got kicked out of the university. She got kicked out of her apartment. She got kicked out of, her job, basically fired, and kicked out of our home. And other people did. Her other two uncles, they didn't want her there either. And she finally went to one of them. Now, it's not all me. Because all her own cousins wouldn't have anything to do with her. One of them is a doctor. The other one's an engineer. They didn't want to have anything to do with her. So it wasn't just us. She was just bad. Like I said, people meet her, they think, oh, she's so sweet and innocent and shy and all this. That was her game. Yeah, that's how she got her way. And then, of course, she would always play the victim. Like she did this last one. She tried to kill me. It's plain and simple. I don't know. I've downplayed it so much. But she kept, knowing that I had chemical allergies and that it could kill me. Over these 2.5 years, she did it 3 times. And just spray stuff. The last time she said, well, at least I didn't spray it. She could say, I didn't spray anything to Adam. She wanted to get off on the technicality. And then she played the victim. Oh, cry, cry, cry. I was gone. I had left the house. you know, and Adam came outside and got me. I left the house and got my SUV and sat there because it was snow and ice all over the road. So, okay, I was going to talk more about that in a separate video. So, all these things, I'm getting better. The stress is over. But there's weight gain again. That one, I think, is, that part is because we've been eating, Adam's been wanting, and we have been eating, and even though I know better, food from out. You know, outside the, you know, stuff that I didn't cook. Some of it. You know, I decided no more. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Talk to you on another video.